I receive a lot of questions around this topic here and there, and I think it's a great opportunity to make a video around it. But before I jump into it, I really encourage you to take the time, think about, reflect, and what is it that you struggle with on your journey as becoming a professional poker player, or what are you afraid of? Maybe you have a question, maybe you have a comment, let me know in the comments. I can take my time to read through it, maybe make a separate video if there are some questions coming up that I'm not covering in this video. But please take your time. Don't ask questions like, how do I make more money? It should be a little bit more specific so I can really put myself in your position, take your perspective, but because these kind of generic questions are really hard to answer and always takes a little bit more time on getting into the details. So yeah, feel free to use the comment section. And yeah, let's get right into it. Before I want to kick it off, I want to talk a little bit more about the two different aspects of becoming a poker pro. There are, of course, the strategic side of things to become good, to understand the game. And then there's more the environment around it. And I want to kick it off with the environment, because when you want to become a poker pro, you want to be in an environment that provides you the best odds, the best chances to become a poker pro. And it always starts with our relationships. Usually people don't really understand, and I think that's probably the biggest obstacle, right? Especially when you're younger, you still live at home, or you rely on your parents, or you have a girl, a boyfriend, that you have the people on your side that you surround yourself with, or that you're around with a lot. Maybe the people, your family that you live with, or your spouse, or whatever. So it needs to, I think having this conversation is crucial, to tell them about your plans, to also educate them a little bit about what is it about in poker, that it's not just gambling, that you can become a pro, that you can make a living out of it. Speaking about a pro, of course, we also need to define what means to become a professional poker player. Everyone has a different definition. For me, it's when you reach a point that you can live from it, that you can on a constant basis withdraw money that you can use for your living, you can do it full time, that does not harm your bankroll, that you really have a comfortable situation, that you can also endure downswings that last multiple months. This is where we have the definition of becoming a pro. And now let's keep talking a little bit about the environment. So as I said, setting it up where you get the people on board. And now you might wonder, well, my parents don't understand. My boyfriend doesn't understand what I'm trying to do. Or my best buddies, they laugh at me. Well, at some point, you also got to accept that there will be people laughing about you. There are people that do not agree what you're trying to do. And that's just how it is. With everyone trying something that is a bit more outside of the box, it can happen, or it's actually really likely that people are gonna be disagreeing with you. They're gonna impose negativity on you, so to speak, naysayers. And you just gotta accept the fact. And I think whenever you try something and you don't have naysayers, it might not be bossy enough, right? I also had people not believing in me. I also had people laughing about me when I told them, wow, I wanna do the same as my friends do. Back then, I got very inspired from my friends. I want to become a poker pro. This is what I want to pursue after my studying. And including my family, it was not that they weren't agreeing with me or they tried to stop me, but they weren't necessarily supporting me either. And I also had some people that were laughing about me. And that's totally cool. That's normal. I mean, it's not cool, but you got to accept that. Now, then you need to decide for yourself and also tell them, listen, this is what I want to do. You're either with me or you're not. And you got to step up. All right. Don't try to convince them with your words, though. Convince them with your actions. Just do it. At some point, they might realize, oh, wow, he's really serious. This is how you convince people, not with your words. You're just wasting your time. Of course, you should try it once or twice, have that serious conversation and be very, very strict and straightforward and tell them this is what I want to do and explain them. You also need to have a bit of empathy. I mean, to be honest, the people that are in your family or in your circle of friends, they love you. They care about you. And if you don't know anything about poker, it might sound dangerous. They think you might be losing all your money. Explain them, calm them down. You have to invest first. Put your ego aside. Don't be like, oh, they don't understand me. They're just naysayers. No. But at some point, if they're still laughing about you and not taking you serious, well, then make it clear. Well, this is what I want. If you're not with me, sorry. And it doesn't matter if it's your parents, your friends. This is your life. And you have to put that at first and not your parents' will that you want to become or that you're supposed to become a doctor. This is very, very important. And I understand this might be the most painful step because you're being ridiculed at, you're being laughed at. But if this is what you really want, you have to go through it. And you will also see the people that are really believing in you. You're going to see your real friends. You're going to see the family members that really care about you. You might say, but Ben, we always have to, listen to our moms and dads. Well, no, you have to put your life at first. And then you will see the people that are supporting you in your journey. And you can still have a good relationship with your mom and dad, but just when it comes to poker, you're going a different path. I'm not, cut all the ties and never see your parents again. Don't get me wrong. But this is where you have to step up, take responsibility, and go the journey that you want to go. I mean, this is really the step when you decide for yourself, okay, for 1 year, I put some money aside. I'm going to be grinding full time. I'm going to quit my job. And then there's also the alternative. This is the way I did it. A little bit on the side, seeing where it goes. That's also fine. A few hours here and there, see what is possible and see if it's something for you. But at some point, you will reach the step where you reach a limit, right? Because you will start competing against people that play full time. And the higher the stakes, the more you have to invest, the more you have to study. And at some point, if you want to become a full-time pro, this is what I would recommend. You can still do things on the side, grind here a little bit, then you can do it recreationally or for fun, or maybe be so good that you can have a little side income. But I'm only trying to talk about here when it comes to turning pro, making this as a full-time job. This is where you then ultimately will have touching points with your family or friends. You have to tell them, hey, I can't come to this birthday party because I'm doing this thing, or you have to quit your job or whatever. And you have to, of course, or you should be telling it your friends, because also, and this is why it's important to talk to at least to the closest circle. You don't need to go out of the world and tell anyone, but you will be in miserable states, right? We all know the downswings, how hard they can be. So it's going to be really swingy in terms of your mood. So to tell them, hey, listen, sometimes, there might be days where even though I have time, I just don't want to see anyone. I just want to be at home, maybe just have a day or two for me. Don't take it personal. Right? It's all about the communication, because then they will also understand. You also need to understand that things might appear different from their perspective. They might perceive you as that douchebag is now working on his goals, being arrogant, thinks he's better, now he doesn't have time for me, right? But if you tell them, listen, I just feel like dog shit. Sorry, I didn't want to bother you with my negative mood because I care about you. I don't want to say anything stupid. It's a completely different communication that you're going to have. So, but if they know that, it's like, hey, in advance, you're going to be telling them, hey, I want to do this thing, and if they want to support you, please, I try my best, but there might be days or weeks where I'm not going to be, reaching out. Please don't take this as that I don't like you or don't love you, especially if you live with someone, if you live with your girlfriend or boyfriend. Talk about this. It's something I have to admit I really suck at as well, because I try to just, let's push it through. I have this kind of mentality, you're a man, you have to be strong. And I don't think that's the right way. I think it's a lot about communication. Whenever I'm communicating as much as possible with my girlfriend, if I have bad days, and instead of saying, yeah, I was all right, but I actually deep inside, I know, I feel terrible because I had a losing session and I just want to let some steam off. Don't come up with bad beats. Just, okay, I feel terrible. I had a bad session. I hate poker, That's good. It will get easier. And then also my girlfriend understands me, right? So you see, it's a lot about communication. It's key. This is probably the most important pillar in your environment. Then the second pillar